Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. But today, we explore the path of the Shogun. You chose safety over your true purpose, and now your soul is paying interest on your cowardice. You do just enough to survive the shift, just enough to avoid getting fired. You call it balance. You call it being pragmatic. I call it a slow, pathetic liquidation of your human potential. You are the mediocre person. You sit in your quiet desperation, changing your mask for every room you enter because you have completely forgotten who you are beneath the compliance. You have negotiated away your ultimate purpose for a small, predictable safety net. The paradox of your existence is a terminal sentence. By protecting your life from risk, you have guaranteed that your life is completely worthless. There is an unresolved, terrifying mystery to your stagnation, a hidden rot that grows deeper every single time you choose comfort over impact. You think you are playing the smart game. In reality, you are just an invisible ghost waiting around for an official funeral. You are a servant who handed over his own crown to avoid the weight of wearing it. The ancient standard of the shogun demanded absolute, crushing structural alignment. Class identity was not an emotional discussion. It was an unyielding law enforced by the sword. Modern decay has convinced you that you can change your identity every single weekend, acting like a casual drifter while pretending to hold values. You have built a life without boundaries, without permanent laws, and without real metrics. You measure your progress by your temporary comfort, completely blind to the reality that an architecture without rigid pillars collapses into mud at the first sign of tension. The Shogunate War Room of Edo did not tolerate internal negotiations or identity fragmentation. Within those massive cold cedar walls, power was an exact mathematical equation. The air hung heavy with the visceral scent of dark sumi ink wash, polished iron armor plates, and raw charcoal embers burning silently in stone basins. The warlords did not adjust the laws to accommodate their weaknesses. They enforced the Buke Shohatto, the absolute code for warrior houses that dictated every single action, marriage, and boundary with medical precision. If a samurai compromised his station by even a millimeter, his estate was instantly dissolved. There was no discussion. There was no second chance. Imagine the crushing weight of that institutional silence. Warlords sat in perfect, agonizing stillness on tatami mats under the gold leaf emblems of the Tokugawa clan, their eyes fixed on the strategic map's layout. They deployed the Koku Mandate, measuring the absolute baseline worth of every province not by emotional intentions, but by raw grain yield and absolute military readiness. Worth was calculated down to the last grain of rice. When structural drift threatened the state, they did not execute a polite warning. They initiated the Tairo Execution, the absolute sudden elimination of the highest officials who faltered in their loyalty. The heavy, dry thud of an iron blade cutting through treason in the courtyard was the ultimate reminder that alignment requires blood. Power was sustained because the system stripped away all personal loopholes. The elite survived the brutal chaos of the Sengoku transition because their laws were completely irreversible constants. The mechanics of your failure are rooted in this simple, pathetic choice. You treat your life like a flexible suggestion instead of a strict institutional decree. You are the mediocre person because you lack a single permanent standard that governs your daily movement. When you face an obstacle, you shift your identity to take the softest path of least resistance. To a shogun, an unregulated boundary is an open invitation for total destruction. You have allowed your life to be managed by casual moods instead of rigid mandates. You must eliminate the internal negotiations, lock down your operational laws, and enforce total execution on your own behavior. Command the state. You're looking for the exit button right now because this level of exposure makes your soft skin burn. Your thumb is already hovering over the screen, searching for a lighter video, a cheap joke, any digital validation to soothe the sting of your own quiet desperation. That is your mediocrity fighting desperately to keep you small. I do not care about your emotional comfort if you are satisfied with being an expendable servant in a life that belongs to other people. Then leave. Return to your safe corners, your half-hearted attempts, and your slow psychological decay. But if you have even a fraction of healthy disgust left for the invisible ghost you have become, stay. Lock the gate. Enforce the laws. Power is not built through sudden flashes of erratic motivation. It is sustained through unyielding structural containment. The shogunate did not establish a 300-year peace by being flexible with its borders. It built its empire by executing its laws with terrifying consistency when the conditions were at their worst. You are currently harboring a traitor inside your own mind, allowing your lazy excuses to vote on your destiny every single morning. You are living a life of absolute identity theft, pretending to be a warrior while executing the actions of a well-behaved slave. The path of obsidian gold demands that you violently establish your own internal empire. Stop trying to find balance in a state of compromise. Turn your daily discipline into an absolute, non-negotiable law that commands your body without its permission. Treat every lazy impulse, every hesitation, and every soft excuse not as a natural emotion, but as an act of treason that must be executed on sight. Lock your focus down to a single master intention and let everything else dissolve into the ink. The world crushes mediocre men without effort. Rebuild your structural foundation until your presence becomes an immovable monument of power. Master the intention. Kill the compromise. Enforce the station. Become the empire. Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.